Hey guys, what's up? Hey guys, it's Lauren. Right off the bat, this is my editing Instagram and you should go follow it if you don't already. I have not been in front of the camera for a hot minute. I've missed it. I've missed speaking to this lens and speaking to the wall, you know, it's great. But no, on a serious note, college applications are destroying me. Like, pretend that you're me and I am college applications. Nonetheless, we have a very fun video for today. This is a video that you guys have actually been requesting a lot for a while, so I'm so glad to finally do it. Today, I'm gonna be recreating some of your guys' edits. So I posted this Instagram story a couple weeks ago asking you guys to drop your usernames if you want me to recreate your edit, and I promise I chose the usernames in the most equitable way possible. And these were taken from all different fandoms. I promise you guys it's not just Riverdale edits. But yeah, let's see if I can recreate your guys' styles. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first edit I'm recreating is from my bestie Bae, Alluring Lily. We are friends, but still, this was a fair choice. I closed my eyes and I chose her name. But I'm actually very excited to recreate her style because as you can tell, it's like this aesthetic style. I actually did a tutorial for this style last month. So like, let's see if I can practice what I preach. I taught you guys how to do it, but like, can I do it? I don't know. So I actually followed my own tutorial and I added flicker and shake to an adjustment layer over the entire thing. Then I added half tone to the intro for that like aesthetic look, and I added that white border with my watermark at the bottom. Then I started with my first clip. I just created a mask around Ursula. Is that how you pronounce her name? Because someone made fun of me for it, whatever. Then I added a picture in the background that then fades in, and then I pre-composed them both together, and then I had it zoom forward and then zoom out, and I had it move a little bit to the left so it like focuses on that picture in the back, which looked pretty cool. Then for this next clip, as you can see, I needed a square photo in the center that had wave warp on it. It also kind of blurs in with a little blur effect. Those are my wave warp settings if you want to copy them, by the way. And then I added a text box with a little bit of profanity, and I'm sorry, it's not me, it's the song. And then I added this effect called explosion to have it like explode, and like I just love the layers to this. Like, I would have never thought of this myself, which is why I love recreating her style. Then I added my overlays, which were super simple but effective, and just like I just love this clip, whatever. Then I pre-composed it because I had to have it all slide to the left, and here's my cute little graph. And then I had to do my next clip, which was kind of the same. I had my picture in the center that had wave warp on it. I just copied the same settings, and then I added my text box with the profanity again. Guys, it's not me, I am sorry. To my younger viewers, do not demonetize me. Then I pre-composed it all together, and I had it come out of the slide that I did before, my little graphy graph, and then I had it zoom in like as it slides in from the left, and again my graphy graph. And then this is what it looked like. I rewatched it so many times because I want it to look good. And then I added an adjustment layer to add like a blur between this clip and my next clip. It's a directional blur, so it like blurs it horizontally. Like, I wanted it to blur horizontally, and I kept increasing it. I'm really bad at explaining things, but it'll look cool. And then for this next clip that I'm doing, I had to like zoom it out because I'm gonna do like a mask. I'm not gonna do a perfect mask. It's like a straight edge whatever mask, because it's like looks like a magazine cutout or whatever. I don't know, it's pretty aesthetic. I did it in my aesthetic transitions tutorial, and then in that tutorial I also did this thing, which is like adding a white solid layer to add like a white border around your mask. So I was just like creating like a replica of the mask, but like with the solid layer. And then I added some rough edges to the solid layer for like some rough edges, which you can see there. And then I added a drop shadow for some dimension, and then I just kept fixing my points because, you know, we're not all perfect. We always have to fix things, and I pre-composed that. Then I realized I needed some text in the background, but I didn't know what words to put. I didn't know the song lyrics, so I just started typing out the Declaration of Independence because it was the first thing that came to mind. So like, we hold these truths to be yeah, I'm reading right off the screen. We hold these truths to be self-evident. Maybe if my writing was this good on my AP US history test, I would have gotten a 5 instead of a 4, but you know, we all can't be perfect. But then I got tired of that, so I started typing random things. You know, I wrote World War I, George Washington, bruh, all that stuff. Then I added some drop shadow, and then I pre-composed this clip. I think it looks super cool, especially with the Declaration of Independence. And you can see there, that's like the directional blur thing. And then I just had it zoom in towards the end, you know, same graph as always. And then this next clip was like so jam-packed. I had to have it zoom in, which that was the easy part. And then I just added my squeeze warp preset, which again, that was super easy. It's just a preset. But then here I had to have it unravel. Low battery. I had to have it unravel with like the page turn, and this was also in my aesthetic tutorial. So it's like I was really putting that to use. It was pretty simple. I think it looked bomb. I had it like rotate in with like a little zoom in. I think that looked pretty good. And my graphs, like I think my graphs for this are pretty good, not gonna lie. And then I masked this clip again like I did to the other one, kind of like the rough straight edges. Then I added my white solid again. I I did the straight line mask, and then again I added the rough edges because, you know, it's the cherry on top, moi. And then I added my text box, which this just says you can't trust, no profanity. We love that. Put it right in the center, kept adjusting it. Then I added my wave warp to it, kind of, you know, I'm a pro at that by now. And then I know that half of it is tinted blue, so I added S tint, did a little baby blue vibes, and then the second half is a light pink, so then I got my perfect light pink color, and then I pre-composed it all together. And then I added my blur mode curves to it because it zooms out towards the end, it zooms forward, then zooms out, so I did that graph. And then I added my S shake because there's like a little shake when the mask photo pops up. And here are my settings. I'm literally, okay, S shakes take me so long to do, like my settings are always whack, but then like it eventually looks good. Then for this next clip, I have it going from black and white to color. I added some wave warp, and then the song says woo, so I added a little woo. And then Phoebe actually made the color orange, which, you know, bold choice on her behalf, but I love it. I think it looks cool. Then I added this money sign overlay. I couldn't find the exact one she used, but I think it looks pretty cool. Pre-composed that all together. And then I added my zoom preset, and then I added this like loading sign overlay for the next clip, which you literally can't see, so that's fun. And then I added this Gaussian blur to the whole clip. Pre-compose that all together. Then I had to add my S shake again because there's a shake between like the two clips. Bruh, this took me a hot minute. It kept looking like trash, but whatever. Then I had my last clip. It said In Love with Lust, which again, that's a little raunchy. Then I put that right in the center. I added my wave warp, and then I added a drop shadow and directional blur. And look at that directional blur. It literally looks so good. Like I was obsessed. And then I pre-composed that together, and I added my Luma fade in, and then I zoomed it in a little bit. And here are the results. Had enough, yeah, looking like what the bleep, yeah, you can't trust, woo, think I'm in love with Luz. So the next user is Grace's Vids with a J instead of an I, and I knew she was perfect to do because she has this edit of Damon Baker and Josephine Langford's photo shoot photos, and I know that Lily also did a photo shoot with him, so along with the transitions also looking the same, the photos will have the same aesthetic too, so that's pretty cool. So I just added my text first. This part was really simple. I just did Lily Reinhart and Damon Baker, and then I added a black solid layer, and I added some film damage to that because she has some film damage in the background. I had the text slide in from the left, right, and left respectively. This part was really simple again. Then to the first clip, I just made it zoom out, and I added a scale distort preset, and I added this like wave warp to make it look like film damage. I do this a lot, I don't really know. And then I added some motion tile. Then for my next clip, I added red edge rays, I added a shake, and then I had it zoom in and zoom out again. And then I changed the blending mode to screen to have it like blend in with the first photo, if that makes sense. Then I forgot how to do that little like thing that she did, like, you know what I'm talking about, like the whatever. So I just added a glitch stock footage, same effect, just slightly different, whatever. And then I just had it fade out like with Luma dissolve, and then I have like these two other clips sliding in from the left, so I just did that with blur mode curves, and it honestly looked really cool with like the Luma fade in the background. I really liked it. Then I pre-composed it and had it zoom out, and I did like the little like overshoot thing so it like inflates before it deflates. I'm doing fisheye right now, so yeah. And then she has this thing where she has like a rotation transition between these two photos, and then I added a black solid layer for my borders. This is just how I do my moving borders. I don't know if other people do it like this, but I find it really easy. You just like mess around with the mask, so like the mask solid layer like follows the rotation. Kind of looks like that. It looks kind of weird when I showed it there, but it looks pretty cool. I just copied that black solid layer and did it for the next clip for the rotating borders. Yeah, I think it's pretty simple. I don't know. And then I just added that fisheye warp for the zoom out. So here I just copy and pasted that glitch stock overlay footage from before and added it there. And then for this next clip, I had it zoom out. I added my fisheye warp and my edge rays. And then I had to do like a zoom out rotation, but without mirror edges, which I thought was really unique. And I had to do like a warp. And then for this next clip, I just duplicated the same photo on either side of the screen. To one copy, I added a red tint. And then to the other copy, I added like a blue S-glow. And then I just had it do like its transition of the rotation and the zoom out. And in this next clip, I added a white solid layer to do like this like white transparent circle burst. I thought it was really cool. I've never tried this before, but it, you know, looked really nice, and I knew how to do it from like the flashing borders. It's a similar concept. Then I added a null object layer because like these both slide up, like you see, yeah. That was like, I love doing those little like null slide up because I think they're really, really smooth. So that was that. And then I just had it zoom out, and I did my little like overshoot graph, and then I added some fisheye warp, which again, did a little overshoot on that graph. Then for this was just a simple zoom out, got a little break from all the, you know, and I added my glitch stock footage as well. And then for this clip, I had it slide to the left, and I also added that like distortion scale wipe. Those are just my settings if you want to copy. And then the same thing for the next clip, I had it come out of the slide with the scale wipe. And then lastly, I added my text box. box with the, you know, her name, like she added at the end, made it big, and then I had it like drop shadow, and I had it zoom in, you know, scale wise. I pre-composed it, and then I had the whole thing zoom out at the end, and that was the edit. It was actually really fun to make. I enjoyed it a lot. Being a bleep is my bleep. What the bleep else do you think? I'm crazy, but you like that. I bite back. Daisies on your nightstand. Never forget. I'm so out of breath from these voiceovers, but the next user is Stukfi. Don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but I really like this because of this little jittery thing in the beginning, and then also this cube is what sold the deal. I've never seen or done a cube like that, so I just wanted to see if I could do it. So here I'm just doing the intro. It's just a simple zoom out transition that zooms in before it zooms out. I've done this so many times, so I'm just doing the graph. And then here, the hue had to like change in the background, so I had to mask Esther in the front, which by the way, my roto brushing was fire on that. And then I changed the hue and I added this like sparkles overlay and put it behind the mask while the hue is changing in the background. It looks really cool. Then I pre-composed it all together. I made sure to apply my motion blur. Then I rewatched this part 50 million times because I had no idea what to do, literally no idea. But then I started with my S glow, and then I added my skew shake, and then I added an adjustment layer with S shake because it had like that jittery effect, and I just changed the settings a million times. I changed my glow to like a pink, and then here I'm just like incrementally adding scale keyframes because it's like slowly zooming in, and I realized it looked so bad, so I kept like spacing out my keyframes and changing it, and then I was finally happy with it. So then I did my zoom out transition, and I also had it move up a little bit because that's what it did. And then for this next clip, I also had to roto brush her again because there were sparkles in the background. This roto brushing was such a pain because she's like the same skin tone as the wood low key. And then I copied the sparkles overlay from the last clip for this clip, and then I pre-composed it all together. And then I had to kind of like do the same thing with the S glow and like the pink hue. I moved around the keyframes, and then I added my blur mode curves for my zoom out transition. And I also moved it down a little bit because it like is like a position zoom out, whatever. Then I copied my scale keyframes for the first clip and then pasted them into the second clip because it also zooms in, but it looked so bad. I had to add more keyframes, I had to rearrange the keyframes, and then I had to start adding my rotation keyframes, and I just like copied them in pairs, as you can see, and that also looked horrible because the rotation was way too intense. So then I had to like change all of them because I had to make the rotation less, and then I just had to keep like spacing them around, like watching it back. Then it looked ugly, so I kept spacing them around. Like, this is why edits take me so long, because I cannot comprehend how to do anything unless I keep doing it a million times. Anyway, here I just had it like fade out, and then I added a white solid layer in 4 seconds. Yeah, right there. And because it like fades to white, and then I kept watching this cube because I was like, how am I doing this? But then I was like, okay, I'll worry about that later. First, let me just form the cube. So I put this in like 50 times speed because who cares about me making the cube. Then I attached it to a null object layer. I scaled it down, and then I did like a whole rotation for the entire thing. And then I was like, okay, let me work on the tab. So then I realized I had to change the anchor point because it needs to be anchored at the bottom, and then like I needed to push the position back into place because like it's coming apart from the bottom, you know, that makes sense, right? So then I was like, yes, I figured out how to do it. It looks so good. I'm so proud of myself. Here's a little graph. So I was like, okay, let me do the same thing for the rest of my clips. This will be so simple. I changed the anchor point, I changed the position, and then I tried to do the same thing with the Y rotation, and look at that. What is that? So I was like, okay, fine. And then I realized it was orientation I had to change, which is like so random because like I don't really use orientation that much. So I was like, okay, whatever. I figured out how to do it though. I did it for the rest. It looks super cool. Then I added a light layer for like some dimension, you know, it looks really nice. And then I pre-composed it all together because this cube like shakes in. So I added S shake, and bruh, this was so confusing. I was like so confused as to how she got her shake amplitude so high. Like I kept increasing my amplitude. I was like changing the phase, like the motion blur, all that stuff, and it still looked like absolute trash. So then I realized I had to add like an actual shake preset that like started from the top, and then that looked good. Then I had to do another cube for like my second cube. So I just made my cube, you know, as always. This cube though only had a bottom and not a top, and then the first cube had a the first cube had a bottom and not a top, and this cube had a top and not a bottom, whatever. Then I added them all to the null object layer. I zoomed it out, and I had to add my watermark because like she added hers, and I added my drop shadow to the watermark. Low key though, I should use a different font. It just doesn't look right. It just does not sit right with me. Then I had to like push the text back to like the middle of the cube, like because it like was like in the front. Then I had to do some math, on my little phone calculator to see what I had to like make the anchor point, and like my calculations were actually correct, so I was pretty proud of myself. Math is actually a huge part of After Effects. A lot of you guys were like commenting that on my basics video, like this is so much math, which like yeah, but it's very basic math. Anyway, I should stop talking about math. Here I'm just doing like the outward transition. I did all the flaps. I kind of just sped through that part because I already showed you how I did it with the whole orientation Y thing. And then here are my graphs for like that zoom out. I like pulled the thing above so it would like, yeah, like it would rotate in the opposite direction before it like rotated in the intended direction. Super fun. And then I duplicated it and like enlarged it in the background and like changed the opacity. Then I'm on my next clip, and like from here on, the edit is pretty simple. I just added some like S-glow, some zoom out, some like zoom in with the rotation. Yep, then I started working on my next clip. I added some blur in the beginning, and then I copy and pasted the S-glow, and I had it zoom in with the rotation. Then I had to move the motion tile above the whatever directional blur so the thick fat white borders would not be there. And then I just added a simple rotation transition at the end. Then for my next clip, I of course added another rotation transition, and then I had to pre-compose them together to do that like diamond thing. So then I did like a mask over the whole thing, and then I fit it in the shape of a diamond, but this was so hard for me. Like, I'm actually struggling. I put this on like 500 times speed, but then I realized I was stupid. I could have just turned off the vision on it, and then I could have fit it to the diamond shape of the actual video, and that worked perfectly. And I did the same thing for the end when it like transforms into the other diamond shape. And then here are my graphs, and honestly it looked so good. You'll see in a sec. And then I just had that diamond zoom out, and then for my last clip it was super simple. I just added some S-glow and then a zoom in transition at the end, and then that was it. I love the way it turned out. You get me so excited. Shawty wanna roll with a rock star. Baby, let's go. We could go far. And sadly, to close off our video, we have your tan edits. So I mainly chose this because I think it's kind of similar to my style with all the warps and everything. So I thought it'd be cool to recreate. I think it's really clean and nice transitions. And I do not know who she is, but she's really pretty. So like, go white girl, go. So I started off with the text effects. I did the bounce text effect, the fluorescent lights, which is like a flicker, and then I did the CC light rays, which looked pretty cool. Then I pre-composed it all together, and I added my glitch stock overlay footage again, and then I just had it do a zoom out with fisheye warp, you know, the classic. Then I added a black solid layer to have it like fade out at the end, and I'm just gonna take that layer and paste it above all the rest of my clips for a fade out. Then I started roto brushing my next clip, which was so hard. You could literally see me struggling because it's so red. Then I made the background blue, and I added white plasma because it's like for like that plasma effect, and I added some drop shadow. Then I pre-composed that, and I added my turbulence preset, which again literally just would not work. Like, what is that? Literally, what is that? Then I had a rotation zoom out transition, and I did my, you know, classic graph. Then I had this next clip coming out of a rotation zoom out, and then on top of that I added another clip with Z-dist, and I had it like expand with a wipe circle. That was a really bad explanation, but you see what I mean. And then I had it all zoom out, and I added this like wave warp thing that I added before. It kind of looks like film damage. It's like horizontal. This is what it looks like for reference. It's pretty popular. And then I had a fisheye zoom out whatever thing, and then I added my black solid layer on top of it for a fade out. Now here, I do not have the 3D stroke plugin, so I did not know how to do that stroke line thing, but first I had to worry about my star mask, which, oh my god, it looks so bad. Like, I do not know why I thought I was killing it with that, whatever. But then here's the thing I did in place of 3D stroke. I added a purple like solid layer, and then I just moved the star a little bit. Okay, it does not look as good. Like, it definitely does not, but like, it was the best I could think of. Like, I definitely should get that 3D stroke plugin. I don't know why I don't have it. I'm such a poser. Anyway, then I had 2 more clips masked, and then they kind of just like come in with the mask. This part was like the easiest part, I think, out of everything. I kind of struggled with some other things, but yeah, they just come in half screen with the mask wipe thingy, and then I pre-composed that all together, and I did my zoom out with my fisheye warp. Then for this next clip, I had to do like my luma fade. Dude, I don't know what happened here. Like, you'll see. What is that? I think that's from the Twixter, but like, that part was just completely I just didn't understand it. Anyway, I had it zoom out with my fisheye warp, my little bounce, and then I had it like bounce down, then go up, then slide down. You'll see what it looks like. Kind of hard to explain. Look at that graph. It's so weird. Look at that little curve in the beginning. So then I added some CC scale wipe, which basically like warps it down as it slides downward. You'll see what I'm talking about. And I did the same for the next clip. I had it start up, then I added my CC scale wipe, had it slide down, and then I looked at this part and I was like, okay, I know what I'm doing. So then I just did like a half screen thing, pre-composed it, and then I mirrored it to the other half of the screen. Then I added my text and my fluorescent lights, and I pre-composed that all together, and then I added my CC light rays, and then pre-composed that all together. Then I added my scale distort preset, and then I added some S-glow, and then I added my S wipe ring. So that was like a very layered clip, but it looked pretty cool. And then I pre-composed that all together, and I added my wave warp kind of TV damage kind of thing, and then I just did a rotation zoom in, and I had it like rotate left before it rotated right. And then here it comes out of a rotation transition, and then it goes into another rotation transition, and it like splits the screen apart, which I thought was so cool. It was low-key complicated. So I just like made a mask of each side of the screen, and then I added like a blue stroke line that I then put on either side of the screen, so that like when it splits apart, each side has its respective blue stroke line, if that makes sense. And then I pre-composed each side with the respective stroke line, and then I just used blur mode curves to move it to the left and right sides of the screen. And this is what it looked like. and then I just did the outro with my text in my little purple approachable, and I added my text effects, my bounce fluorescent lights, and CC light rays. And then the borders, this part took me the longest. Basically, I just had a blue solid layer, and then I did like a little like scale extension, and it like fades out as well. And then I just used this one solid layer and copy and pasted it throughout the rest of my clips, and I just changed the hue, I changed the way it was masked, I changed the color. So you can see right here, I'm just doing a plain white one, and then for the next one, I just did another blue one, but I changed the hue to purple, and then I just like reused the exact same blue one. Then I just did a full white one, but then I masked it on like half of the screen, and then I did like white only on the top of the screen and only on the bottom of the screen. Here are the results. I'm divergent, baby, hop in my ride. Ooh, it's hard to tell outside. To the top down with the clothes on, to the hand up on your thighs, drive. I'm actually the worst YouTuber. I just forget to film my outros, and then instead of like setting up my camera again, I just like film it on my phone in my pajamas as I'm doing my AP Bio lab, but like whatever. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope to do a part 2. I wanted to do like 10 edits for this video, but like your girl was not making 10 edits. She was not gonna do that. But that just like makes you guys look forward to a part 2 even more. So yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.